In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use keyframes in CapCut. Now, keyframes can be super complicated or super easy to understand. It depends on how they're explained and how you use them. But I'm going to try my best to give you a very simple overview of keyframes. So once you're inside of CapCut and you've dragged on your video, we can go ahead and keyframe different properties inside of CapCut, right? So the most common feature for keyframes is to zoom in, right? People want to zoom in fluidly without making a cut. Now, let me show you what I mean here. So if we go to the part of the video where we want to make a fluid zoom in, so let's say we want to zoom in here. What we can do is if we click on the video and we go up here to video, you can see next to everything that you can edit, you've got add keyframe, add keyframe, add keyframe. Now you can add a keyframe and basically change every one of these different elements here. So if we go to the scale bar first and we first add a keyframe by clicking on the button next to it, it's then going to add a keyframe down into the timeline. So this keyframe is going to keep all of these elements here the exact same as what they should be. Now, if we go 2 or 3 frames further into the timeline, or if I just make this like really dramatic and we go in like 10 seconds, we can then create a new keyframe with a new updated element, if that makes sense. So if I then go ahead and zoom in and add a new keyframe, which is automatically added, now, if you look here, you've got these 2 keyframes. So the starting keyframe starts off at the original properties, and then it slowly zooms in to the new keyframe. So let's just play that and I'll show you what I mean. So you can see we're going to the starting keyframe in a second, and then it will start to zoom in to the original scale. And you can see the scale, look, going up in the top right hand corner to the second keyframe. Now you can do this for multiple different properties, right? So let's say you want to increase the scale gradually and you want to increase position, right? The y-axis or the x-axis. So you can go ahead and create a keyframe on the position. We can, let's say, zoom into a specific part of the video. So let's go to the end of our keyframe here, the end of our transition, and we'll change the x-axis to like 50, or let me do it -100. And what I really want to do here is zoom into a specific part of the video, and that's why you would use keyframes, right? So let me do here -800. And there we go, we can now zoom into a specific part of the video. Now, if you notice what's happened here, we've added 2 keyframes. Now the start is going to be our original properties, and then it's going to go through the keyframes, and by the end of the second keyframe, going to be at our new properties, and it's going to change the video smoothly. So if we play it, it's going to zoom in to where we want it to. I hope that makes somewhat of sense, right? Now, if you wanted to zoom out, you would then just create another keyframe, and then let's say you wanted it to zoom out like 10 seconds later, you will go to where you wanted to zoom out on the clip. And then what you can do, you can click on scale as well. And essentially you can then change this scale to, let's just say 100. And what we're doing now is changing it to the original properties. So now we should zoom in and zoom back out. So let's zoom in a second. It's going to zoom in because of the keyframes. There you can see the video is zooming in. It's then going to stay zoomed in, and then it's going to zoom out. And there you go. Now, I hope that video explained keyframes. That's how you can add them and essentially work with them. Now, you can do this for any element here on CapCut, so you can do it for the video, the audio, you can rotate clips, zoom in, make transitions. All of this can be done with keyframes. I hope that video was very simple and helped you out.